Morning. It is Wednesday and my new book comes out tomorrow, and I am currently in the kitchen loading up my dishwasher while I try to figure out what I need to do today. Okay, so that's not exactly true. I know what I need to do today. The big goal for today is finishing the interior graphics for the print edition of the Cinders and the Crown. I need to take a photo for the interior because I want it to match what I did for The Witch and the Worm. And I'm going to be taking you along on that project because I have got to go shopping to get one of the props that I need. I've been through all of the stock photo options. I didn't find anything that I liked, and I figure at this point it's better for me to just stage my own photo. I have a small pumpkin. That's going to be one part of it. And the other part is going to be some autumn leaves, or I guess the color doesn't really matter because it's going to be black and white inside the book anyway. And then I need a pendant to represent 𝗁's necklace. So I'm going to go visit the store. I am not going to the craft store, but I'm going to hit up a couple of like fashion clothing stores to see if I can find a piece of costume jewelry that will work, because everything that the craft stores has looks kind of awful and cheap. And after I was looking around online, I think somewhere like Kohl's will end up having some costume jewelry that I can buy for the same price as the craft supplies, but it's going to look better. Then I'll just take apart whatever I get and make it into a necklace for me to take the photo this afternoon. Once I get that done, I want to sit down and get the cover finalized for the paperback edition of the book and see if I can get progress made on the hardcover as well. Fortunately for me, since this is like the same overall design as The Witch and the Worm, I can reuse some of those elements. I'll just need to resize everything to fit the correct templates because the Cinders and the Crown is a little bit shorter. However, before I can get to those stages, there's a few things that I need to do. Obviously, I need to finish loading the dishwasher. My sink is overflowing. But then I also need to spend some time on the walking pad, and then I need to get a shower before I go. And hopefully that'll leave me enough time to go get the jewelry pieces that I need and get them made, and get the photo taken, and get the covers formatted. We'll see how far I get, but that's today's goal. It's almost 10 o'clock now, and I am fresh out of the shower, about to go do my shopping. And it was a pretty good walk. I got a couple miles in on the walking pad, and now I'm going out. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to do everything that I wanted, but I'm gonna see if I can get as far as I can. It's gonna take me at least an hour to go out and get to the store and get what I need. And then when I get home, it'll probably be time for lunch because since the time just changed, I get hungry so much earlier. But I will hopefully end up with a good hour to work on photos so I can at least finish the formatting and maybe the paperback cover. We'll see if I get that far. Fingers crossed that I do, but time to drive. So I'm back home now. I've got my little earrings to make the pendant that I need. My hair is crazy because I had the windows down. The weather is just so pretty outside. But I made myself a sandwich. I'm going to get my sandwich to eat. And then I'm going to make one of these earrings into a pendant that I can use for the photos. So I'll slip outside, take the photos on the back porch, and then hopefully that'll leave me enough time to at least get the paperback started. I know I won't have time to get to the hardcover today, but I can at least probably get the paperback cover done, especially if I work on it this evening. I think I'll give myself maybe like 45 minutes for photos. Ideally, it won't take that long, but you never know. It's just gonna depend on like how hard it is for me to set everything up, and it's a little bit windy. I'm just gonna hope that it doesn't blow the leaves all over while I'm trying to take pictures. So now I've got this is going to be the pendant, and this is going to be the chain that I put it on. And in the book, of course, 𝗁's necklace is silver, but this is going to be a black and white photo, so it doesn't really matter. I looked at some different stones to see if a different one would work, but this one is very similar in color to an actual peridot. It's just glass, but because it's similar in color, it's going to have like the same tone when it's desaturated. So I decided this was going to be the best choice. And the gold, you won't be able to tell that it's gold because silver and gold look pretty similar when desaturated. So that's ready. Now I just have to gather up everything else, get my camera, and go outside. So my oak tree has very helpfully deposited all these leaves on my patio, and this is actually the same place that I sat and took photos for The Witch and the Worm. So it's really sunny here, but I'm gonna see how that looks. I've got a dagger there because there's a dagger in the story too. And then I have my DSLR camera here with my 50mm lens on it, and we're just gonna take a couple shots and see how it looks. If I need to move into the shade, I will. Okay, it's coming out just a little washed out, so I'm gonna move them into the shade and see if that works a little bit better. That might be the one. Yeah, I really like how that one looks. All right, that should be enough shots. Let's go inside. Okay, so now I'm back in my kitchen while my images download off of my camera, and I am just going to make myself a little treat. I am going to make myself a boba, and I've got like a coffee boba mix. It's so tasty. I got it for like $1 at Home Goods, and I'm almost out now and I'm so sad. But by the time my boba is done, the images will be transferred, and then I can move on to the next step, which is picking an image, desaturating it, formatting it for the book, and yeah, then I can move on to formatting. So I was kind to myself back when I did The Witch and the Worm, and I had saved the photo that I took and also had the darkening layer ready to go. So this is going to make my life a lot easier, and I opened up all of the images to look at them, but honestly, like this very last one, I think that might be a winner because that looks awesome. But I'm just going to mess with some of these and see if I can find the perfect image if it's not this one. Okay, so I narrowed it down to these three. There's this one, and this one. And it's like these two are kind of similar, but they're that's just the pumpkin in sunlight. And I really like the extra contrast that it throws, but I feel like it's less readable on the right-hand side. These are more subdued and would be more readable, especially that one would be really easily readable. I don't know, I'm gonna get some feedback from some readers real quick and then move on. Okay, so naturally my neighbors are doing yard work now, but we have chosen this one and I touched it up a little bit more. So there's this layer that darkens it so that the text will overlay nicely here. It's going to be white text on the dark background. And then I also added a little bit of like a white overlay on the pumpkin just to make it a little brighter and more visually interesting. And then I also set up the title page. I'm not sure how well this is going to print with the swirlies over here. I may need to shrink that down a little bit more because I think right now it's probably going to get cut off because this is like a full bleed document. So my bleed edge is like really close there, and it's pretty unreliable from both KDP and Ingram how that's going to get cropped. So even though it's going to be smaller than the one for The Witch and the Worm, I think it's going to be better if I just squeeze that in just a little bit more so that nothing gets cut off right at the edge. So like this is before, after. It's not a huge difference, but I think it's going to make a lot of difference for how likely it is to get cropped on that side. Okay, so it's almost 1 o'clock, so I've only got like 15 minutes left, but I have finished the paperback cover and I have the formatting done for the paperback as well. It's looking really nice, and there we go. Like that's gonna be the left-hand page, and here's the chapter start page. But I need to make some adjustments to the end here because right now it's ending on a left-hand page, and then on the right has the about the author, and I don't like that. So I've got it in Acrobat here, and I'm just going to insert a blank page before this so that this gets pushed over to the next page, but I can't have an odd number of pages. So I think I'm going to insert another blank page before this one so that this will be on the right hand side, and then when you turn the page there is going to be this, but I'm not totally happy with how it says other stories at the bottom of this page, and then you have to turn the page to see the rest of the books. So I'm thinking I may remove this because I don't have this font on my PC, so I can't just like edit this text right here. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. It's got the books in there. It's fine. Black and white with cream paper, 8.5 by 5.5. It always takes a while to upload. Manuscript is uploaded, no AI ever. And then we just launch the previewer. Okay, so here's the preview. And we are gonna switch to the thumbnail view. And make sure all of my chapters line up. And then down at the end, here's the pages that I moved. So this is what it's gonna look like. And then when you turn the page, there's about the author. And then on the next page, books by me. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I think it is ready for us to order a proof. My little swirls do kind of go off the edge, but I'm hoping that since it's set to full bleed, it won't complain about that, but we'll see what it does. It may kick it back and reject it after I request a proof, but all I can do is hope that it's gonna work right now. So I guess I made it. I ended up getting the proof ordered. Now I just have to wait for the order to go through. Once you add the proof to your cart, it takes a couple of hours for it to appear before you can pay for it. But I'm really excited to see how this turns out. And I'm going to try to work on the hardcover, like the case laminate and the dust jacket this evening. But I think this has been a pretty good day of progress overall. I'm glad to have that done. It's a step closer to having this book finished. So I guess check back in a week or so to see how it looks. But thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to show you how this book turned out. Bye!